Hey guys, welcome to another video. This time we're going to be talking about the Narin Predalien 1/6 scale garage kit, again as painted by Joe Dunaway. Now the class of the league, so to speak, is the is it quarter scale? I think it's quarter scale. It's the quarter scale Predalien maquette from Sideshow Collectibles, sculpted by Steve Wang, from ADI Studios, which did the original effects for AVP Requiem. I did a video and you can check on that on my channel from before, painted by the great Chase Smith. So that is in a league of its own. You know, it's quarter scale, it's huge, gigantic, custom paint job by Chase Smith, one of the best I've ever seen. But before that, if you can't get that, then this is a pretty darn good consolation prize. Now, I don't collect hot toys, plastic toys or whatever, so I don't have that. But as a statue, as a garage resin kit, again painted by Joe, this is about as good as they get. He only did, I want to say he did 3 of these, maybe 3 or 4 of these at most. On his website, there was only 3. He put 2 of them together into one photo collage, and then many years later, he did this one for me. This is a very rare kit. If you didn't get it when it first came out, it's a real tough one to find, these days. But I was fortunate enough to get one of them, and I had Joe do his magic on it. So let's talk about it. It has him on a base. Narin has a lot of these bases, which, to be honest, is a little bit boring. It's just kind of gray rock or gray stone. But he spices things up a little bit this time by connecting the rock with this sort of ancient platform with sort of hieroglyphs on it and that type of thing, with symbols etched on it. So it almost feels like, the Predalien is some sort of temple or something like that, which I don't remember that being from the movie. A lot of the action, I think, from the movie was like in a modern day setting where they were just like killing humans left and right. So, this is again a little bit from Narin's imagination. So I kind of enjoy that. So he's on this thing and he's got his right leg up. He looks like he's about ready to pounce. Great job with the tail. It's razor sharp, really pointy, and you can kind of see this tail all the way here. One of the interesting things about any alien piece, and this is a Predalien, is what do you do about that tail? It is so long, and obviously in the interests of making a statue that's not going to break, as well as just making something that looks, somewhat cool and also isn't a complete disaster to display, you have to kind of figure out what do you want to do about that tail. So it's always kind of interesting to see how different artists decide what to do with it. Almost always the tail has to be wrapped somehow around the body of the creature. You can't have the tail, for instance, just sort of sticking all the way out, because that'd be ridiculous. Now they do have versions of this, for instance, from the Alien Queen, where they do have the tail just sort of sticking out, and it's just a horrible, in my opinion, just creates such a horrible problem with displaying it. What are you gonna do with the tail? It gets damaged very easily, all of that. So in this particular case, Narin's idea was to have the tail kind of curved between the legs, which, it's a good solution for displayability, but I don't know in terms of the actual art design how great that looks. I might have preferred it, instead of coming between his legs, to just be coming off the side of one of them. That probably would have looked a little bit better. Let's take a focus. Now, as you can see, most of the time I have this thing in so-called sideways view or letterbox view, so that it kind of shows more naturally on YouTube when I upload it. And one of the downsides of filming like this is that it really makes it difficult to get the whole piece in if it's a big piece. You wind up keep pulling back until finally, you can see us around the black background I've set up for this. But this shows you that this piece is actually really small. Here's my hand, and I'm touching it. It gives you an idea of how small it is. It seems to be smaller even than 6th scale, in my opinion. But sometimes, like, what does Yoda say? Size matters not. Even at this scale, there's a lot of great detail to appreciate. Narin did an amazing job with it, and Joe did a great paint job. So looking from top to bottom, I do have my flash on, and I've said that I do prefer to showcase these with the flash off, but because of the way he's leaning, if you don't have flash, it's just so difficult to get some of the details properly displayed, because he's hunched over, and so without the flash, you can't see any of the stuff below. So forgive me for that. Hopefully when I get really, really close, you'll be able to see some of the work that's been put in. So again, all the little modeling patterns, the dots, here's the clear dome. You can actually see the skull underneath it. It's a little bit dusty, forgive me. It's been sitting on my closet for quite a while. So there's that. But you can clearly see the skull underneath the clear dome. You can see the big predator jaws. And then of course, on the inside, you have the chrome paint and the inner tongue. Let me try to back up a little bit so you can maybe see it a little bit better. So you can clearly see the inner tongue. I'm gonna rotate it and you can see the jaw. So a little bit too many jaws, right? It's got the predator jaw, it's got the alien jaw, it's got the alien tongue. So there you have it. Then looking at the bottom, you see the neck all the way. You see how crouched he is? I'm just tilting the phone all the way up. You can kind of see the undersurface of the neck. And then, sorry for my hand being in the way. And then the chest, the rib cage, the pelvis, and then the leg. So here you go. And then of course, he's like about to rush you. So you can, his arms are cocked back. Take a look again at the detailing of the arms here, and then the spine, and of course the horns on the back of the alien, now on the Predalien. It's an interesting design, I have to say, just looking at it. It's got combinations of the alien big chap or warrior, as well as of course the predator with the dreads. So here's the dreads here. Movable a little bit. I think those are actually custom placed one by one. And then it has the crown of the alien queen, of course. So it has elements of a lot of the different monsters. There's the shoulder blades of the alien. And then, you know, this is very reminiscent in terms of the legs are all alien here. Yeah, I have to say, you know, when it's all said and done, this thing is a lot more alien than Predator, the more like kind of you analyze it. But there you go. I'm backing out now so the flash doesn't wash everything out. So you have you know, appreciate sort of the natural colors that Joe did on this. I'm going to go a little bit slower. Kind of get an idea of that action pose. So the maquette is just sort of walking, you know, museum pose, not very exciting. I do like the energy of this piece a little bit better. You know, he's in motion, the dreads are flying around. Definitely like that. And you know, the paint job by Joe is a little bit different. Chase used a little bit more you know, gloss to make him look slimier. It glistens. And this one is a little bit more matte, a little bit more flat, no gloss. And I enjoy both. And in fact, one of the reasons I asked Chase to put a little bit more gloss on the maquette is because I already have this great paint job by Joe Dunaway without it. And so it was nice to just sort of contrast the two of them. Here again, a little bit deeper look at the neck, a little bit of the tendons, deeper inside. So yeah, this is the Narin Predalien resin kit, painted by Joe Dunaway. Very, very nice piece, very rare. If you find yourself having the opportunity to get one of them, please don't hesitate. It's small, you know, that is one of the criticisms. A lot of these Narin kits are small, but they don't lack for detail, and Joe you know, absolutely brings them to life. And I love these as much as I love the quarter scale bigger maquettes. Okay, I'm going to be uploading a lot of Narin Joe Dunaway Predator kits and paint-ups. This is one of them. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed this one and take care.